Welcome to VOOM Nutrition's pre-event preview for the 2021 ASICS Windermere Marathon. We're here on top of Gummers How today and I'm joined by Scott Umpleby, who's the race director. Welcome, Scott.
Thanks Bo.
So the Windermere Marathon is one of only a few events I think in the world that's run entirely in a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So obviously there's some beautiful vistas. What are the main areas for people to look out for in terms of enjoying the views that this event offers?
Well, at one level, as you can see, the views all the way around the course are stunning of the lake itself, the surrounding fells, woodland around the course. One fact that a lot of people don't quite appreciate is this Windermere Marathon course actually goes around two lakes. Another key place for good views is as you're going up what's called up towards Cook's Corner, you suddenly get open views of the Langdale Fells as well as the lake in the foreground, and in a similar way as runners pass the Lowood Hotel.
What are the hardest parts of the course that people might want to look out for and be prepared for?
It does have a reputation as one of the toughest road marathons in the UK. There's possibly only one or two others that have got more ascent than you can see out on this course. The biggest climb and the first climb that runners really come to is at mile 7. So a hill known as the Devil's Gallop, just beyond Hawkshead. That's the longest climb, and I think the ascent is about 250 feet. The second biggest climb is at mile 21. So as I mentioned earlier, Cook's Corner, just beyond Bowness. There's a hill where if you're driving around the lake, you maybe wouldn't really notice it quite so much. But having run 21 miles, it's going to take quite a lot out of people's legs.
Those with family or friends who do want to come and try and support the runners, where might they be able to head to on the course that would be a safe place to spectate from?
There are some great places to spectate. Probably the first point they could get to would be Newby Bridge, down at the south end of the lake, where there's a hotel with plenty of refreshment, place to sit and wait for the runner to come past. And then Bowness on Windermere is another fantastic place to kind of wait, enjoy the scenery, get some refreshment at Bowness and wait for runners to come through.
And as the runners sort of approach the final stages, they've got up the tough hill at Cook's Corner, past the beautiful Lowood Bay. Where's the kind of the final point that spectators might be able to see them before they finally get back to Brathay Hall?
Probably Waterhead, kind of at about mile 25. So again, there's car parking, refreshments at Waterhead.
As with so many events, there's both those people pushing for a PB or the fastest time and many people just aiming to complete it. But there has been some quite fast times in the past here at Windermere. So what are the course records for both the men and the women?
One of the great things about this event is we get a lot of people coming to run their first marathon, and we do get folk running a PB, which you might think is surprising given how challenging and hilly the course is. But it was great in 2019, the last time the event took place, in that both the men's and women's records were broken. A lady called Mary Hammond ran the course in 3:02:58, and Rob Corney from Reading Roadrunners ran the course in 2:29:56. So the first runner to break 2.5 hours.
One of your long-term partners for the event is Pete Bland Sports. So would you be able to just tell us a little bit about how that kind of came to be and the history of that?
Yeah, so there was a Windermere Marathon race in the 1980s that ran for 5 years, between 81 and 86, that was organised by a combination of local Rotary clubs and Kendal Athletics Club. Now Pete Bland himself, obviously the owner of Pete Bland Sports, was very involved with Kendal Athletics Club and was instrumental in setting up and organising the Windermere Marathon through the 80s. We were really lucky in that Pete kind of got alongside the team at Brathay and helped us kind of organise our first event in 2007. Now Pete Bland Sports, the business, have been involved all the way through as our retail partner, and there's a very close link between Pete Bland Sports and ASICS, our headline sponsor. So it is really a kind of team event between the Brathay team organising the event, but then a number of sponsors who are lined up alongside us to make sure the event runs smoothly and the runners have a really memorable and distinctive day.
Windermere Marathon is the biggest fundraising event on the calendar for you guys, but what does the event mean to the Brathay Trust?
Well, essentially it raises really valuable funds to allow us to continue our work with children and young people, both at Brathay Hall on their residential experiences, but also in communities across the north of England. We've got wide-ranging projects delivered by a youth team focused on quite often young people who need that extra support to move forward and become independent, move into work, employment and training. And really the marathon and the funds that it raises all goes towards funding that work.
For those who don't know, would you just like to tell a little bit about the 10 in 10 guys and what they get up to?
This year we've got 13 athletes who've been training hard and fundraising hard. So the 23rd of May, the day of the Windermere Marathon, that will be day 10 of their 10 in 10. And they'll be lapping up the support from the other runners, supporters on the course, volunteers, just for their final lap around the lake.
Compared to a normal year, how is this year going to be any different?
Clearly in the current environment we've had to make a set of changes, first and foremost to make the event safe, but also to satisfy the conditions of our race licence and also look after the local community. That's really important to Brathay, with us being a charity kind of on the shores of Windermere. So the key changes we've had to make are we're having a staged start. So before the event, actually at the end of this week, runners will receive an email where they'll be asked to book their start time. So we'll be having essentially up to 40 runners starting every 5 minutes in 5-minute blocks. We've made one or two small changes to the course, and this is mainly to look after impact of the event on some of the key areas around the course. So for example, the course is going to go around Hawkshead Village rather than right through the centre of the village.
There's now only 3 aid stations on the event this year.
We normally have 7 aid stations. This time we've got 3. So runners will need to come and be prepared to be more self-sufficient in terms of their water. So the first aid station is at mile 10. So that's at the YMCA Lakeside, their south entrance. And we'll have bottled water and hydrate, hypertonic drink there. So that's at mile 10. The second aid station is at mile 16, which actually is possibly almost in view here, just below us in the trees. So mile 16 with water and hydrate drink again. And then the third station is mile 23 at Brockhole.
Thanks Scott for joining us and offering a great insight into the event. Don't forget you can still get signed up for one of the most scenic road marathons in the UK up until the 19th of May. Thanks for watching and good luck to everyone who's already signed up, and happy running!